As I stepped into the dimly lit archive room, the scent of aged paper wafted through the air, mingling with the faint tang of mildew. Kaida, the archivist, led me to a narrow aisle between towering shelves, her eyes scanning the labels etched onto the spines of the books. "We need to focus on the 1950s era," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. I nodded, my gaze drifting toward the stacks as I tried to make sense of the seemingly endless rows of texts. The archive room was a labyrinth, and even with Kaida's guidance, it felt impossible to navigate without getting lost. Every time I thought we were heading in the right direction, she'd veer off into another narrow corridor or point out some obscure entry that sparked her interest. We worked in silence for hours, our footsteps echoing through the room as we combed through dusty files and yellowed manuscripts. The air thickened with an unsettling stillness, punctuated only by the occasional creak of a shelf or the soft hum of fluorescent lights overhead. I began to feel like an outsider, observing Kaida's methods with growing unease. It wasn't until we stumbled upon a hidden logbook, its cover embossed with a faint logo of a forgotten organization, that our pace slowed. Kaida's eyes widened as she delicately turned the pages, her fingers trembling over the fragile paper. I watched in confusion as she scribbled notes on a small pad, her brow furrowed in concentration. "What is it?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. Kaida hesitated before answering. "These entries, they're not from any known project. The language, the symbols, everything seems to point to an experiment that went catastrophically wrong." As we continued to pore over the logbook, the room around us began to feel oppressive. Shadows seemed to deepen, and I caught myself glancing over my shoulder, expecting to see unseen eyes watching us. The archive room's labyrinthine layout now felt like a deliberate trap, designed to keep secrets hidden. Kaida's voice grew softer as she spoke of the experiment, her words weaving together fragments of a narrative that refused to cohere. With each passing moment, I found myself questioning whether we'd stumbled upon something sinister or merely the product of an overactive imagination. The more we delved into the logbook, the more our surroundings seemed to warp and distort, as if reality itself was trying to conceal its secrets. As the hours crept by, our conversation dwindled to nothing more than staccato whispers. I sensed Kaida's unease growing, her eyes darting toward the shelves as if she feared being watched. In that moment, I knew we were no longer in control of this archive room, or what it contained. The fluorescent lights flickered above us, casting an eerie glow over our tiny world within the stacks. As the silence deepened, I realized Kaida and I had become mere pawns in a much larger game, one where the stakes were unclear and the outcome was anything but certain.